Hi everyone. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a story time today and see how you guys like that. Tell you a little bit more about me as we establish our Soul Tribe family. Um, Back in 2013, I took a role in Saudi Arabia launching a female college. It's the first time it had ever been done in the history of Saudi Arabia. This was a female vocational college. So, just to give you a little bit of context, for those who were not, those students, male or female, who were not able to get into a traditional university inside the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or abroad, they really were left with nothing to do. So, if they didn't score high enough to get into university, they were basically sitting at home. And so, the Ministry of Education decided to invite Western providers in and bring their own curriculum um, to teach vocational training, vocational skills, along with ESL or English as a second language to Saudi men and women. And this was an amazing opportunity, not only for the kingdom, but also for Western providers and, of course, for myself. I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, which is home of the Civil Rights Movement. And so for me, this was a civil rights movement where you educate women, you educate the land, the country, the kingdom. So I really jumped at that opportunity to do that. I had been in that industry, of course. So anyway, some of the strangeness that I encountered and some of the miracles that I encountered were truly worth telling a story about or writing a book about. But anyway, our college was located in Mecca, and I lived in Jeddah, which is kind of like the New York of Saudi Arabia, if you will, a very metro area, diverse population of expatriates. And so I was, that for my first year, I was learning Arabic, and my tutor, Ikram, was teaching me Arabic. She was also my executive assistant. And I'm going to put up a lot of pictures and collages, and I hope you guys view them because I put up some pictures of UFOs that I've captured, and I see them very frequently. And I want to put up more pictures, but if you guys are not looking at them or commenting, then I feel like you're not interested. But anyway, I will put pictures up of Saudi, Egypt, and Jerusalem, and all of my different travels. So, anywho, I Ikram or Ikram, she sits like she would sit in front of my office. She had an office in front of my office, so she would, she became a very good friend of mine as well. Not only was she the executive assistant, but she was a great friend, a sister, very intelligent. She began to talk to me about some things that I had been hearing about happening at the campus. There's one particular occasion, we had a college of about 2,200 students at its apex. And one day, my directors and managers came in and they were like, "Oh, Miss Tanisha, this girl has a gin. She has a gin there." I was like, "Who? What's a ginny? What's a gin?" And she said that my directors is a female college. So the directors come in and they tell me that, one of the students was possessed by a jinn, or she had a jinn inside of her. And for those who are familiar with the Arabic culture, you might be aware of this entity, spirit that possesses one, and definitely demonic in nature. So, and they said, "Come see, come see." And I'm like, that's all right. Get somebody else to do it. or whatever. Tell me about what happened. So I began to speak with Ikram. I said, "What is going on with this? What is this? Is this real?" And so I really trust her. She's very devout in her religion and her studies of Islam. She says, "Yes, it's real, Miss Tanisha. It is. I've seen it. It happens all the time." Um, and so I got her to explain to me her experience with it because she kind of brushed it off like it was no big deal. So she began to tell me about her speaking with one and encountering one, and she said they can be tricksters as well. And she said her younger sister was in school, and it was after hours, and she needed to go pick her younger sister up. And so she, gets to the school, and she asks for her sister, and they tell her to, go. She's in this particular area of the building, and she says, she felt something a little bit off when she spoke with the administrator at the front desk, but she didn't think anything of it. She needed to just get to pick up her sister and go on to their next appointment. And so she recalls, getting to the classroom where her sister was, and her sister was alarmed, like, "How did you find me?" And she said, "Well, the lady at the front desk, Miss So and So, told me you were in this room." And she was like, "What?" She's like, "There's nobody in the building." And so they come said, "No, no, no. She was there. She told me that you would be in this room." And so, to make a long story short, not only did they find out that there was no one there, but the lady that Ikram had the lady that she had referred to by name, that woman had died. And so, and I don't know how long ago, you know, in context of the story, or how long it was before she had passed away, but she had definitely passed away. So there was no way um, Ikram could have seen her, according to her little sister, her younger sister. So it was very strange. And she said she noticed something a bit eerie about the woman in her eyes. And she said she had very dark eyes. So, but she went on to tell me different stories about things that she had encountered in Saudi. And, I never got up the courage to see any of my students who were possessed with the jinn, but I got close enough to hear them because we were, calling a medic, and it takes a while for someone to come to the campus because of the way Saudi is, or especially was at 2013. But I heard the voice of one, and it sounded very masculine and very dark. And so, and I thought, there must be some type of relationship between this and mental illness, because I'm trying to use a scientific way of understanding and comprehending what's going on, or what I'm seeing, or what I'm hearing. I never had the heart to come close, or the courage to come close enough to see the person, to see my student, because they said physically the face was distorting, a lot of spitting. Could tell a lot of cursing, and in English and Arabic. Just a lot of strength, and I felt like, because I spent so much time at the campus alone, the last thing in the world I needed to do was to see someone possessed, because that would have just really interfered and interrupted my work day, because there's no way I would have stayed as long as I stayed in the building, and going throughout the different corridors and mosques, thinking that a jinn was somewhere around. So I did that more so because I was scared, but also because I know why I was there and what I needed to do to fulfill that mission while I was there for 4 years. Okay, so that is my story about the jinn. If you are interested in hearing more detailed stories, please let me know, and I will definitely share them with you. I've got tons of pictures that I've captured on flights and on my travels of different UFO activities. So let me know if that interests you. Ever since I was a child, I have seen UFOs and have experienced some very supernatural events with them. That even until now, I still feel like I'm absolutely crazy for even detailing these experiences, because it is unbelievable and just incredible. Anyhow, that's my story time for you. This is the Empress Speaks. Please like and share if you feel compelled to. thank you for stopping by my channel.